Alright guys, so we got a new one for you. This is courtesy of some folks on YouTube who've commented on videos. We are going to create kind of a way to delete an app or uninstall an app that you did not create or deploy on Intune. So I'm going to find something in my registry and we're going to use it as an example. So, for example, we have on my computer, I have like Civil, I have SketchUp. I'm going to look for an uninstall key, right? So, say I'm looking for, these are SketchUp keys, but these are not the uninstall keys. These are just install locations. So, you go to your Windows current version, or sorry, you go to your Microsoft Windows, because I can type today, current version, and we're going to go into our uninstall keys. So pretty much any app for the most part is going to have an uninstall string in your registry. So I have a few versions of SketchUp on here, so I'm going to do a search, right? So I'm going to find SketchUp. So here you go, right? This is SketchUp 2024. So here's my uninstall string. So I can do a few things in Intune packaging to just make an uninstaller. So say you don't want to create a whole new package for install or have to find the specific version. What could I do? I could know that this version's on my machine, or say this is the version on all my machines. You can look at like your Intune to look at apps installed on your computers. Like say you want to go check for your devices, and you look at your reports. Under monitor devices, you can look at apps. You can take a look and see all apps. For example, it's going to show you like everything installed. You can go into like monitored apps and take a look at what's there on your devices. It's going to kind of give you a report of kind of everything there. You can look in your discovered apps, and that'll be everything. So like if you have iOS devices, you're going to see iOS stuff, but you're going to see kind of like a list of versions of stuff like that's across any machine that's been scanned. Like you could have multiple versions of programs, things like this. You can go in and clean up. You could start to do uninstall scripts, things like that. But say you want to do one specifically. Say like, we're looking at SketchUp here. We're going to say we don't have a SketchUp deployment in here. What could I do, right? I could do something as simple as make a PowerShell script, or even in this case, because it's just a command line, I can copy this command line, right? I can say I'm going to make a text file or a batch file. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, here's my text file. I know that this is going to be my uninstall script, right? So we'll save that. We're going to rename this something like uninstall SketchUp 2024, and we're going to change this to like CMD, right? Why is that? Because that'll be a format that we can call in our Intune, and that's going to basically go in and do the uninstall. So what you can do is go in and create an app, right? So I'm going to create an app really quickly, and we're literally just going to have the app package have our uninstall script. Now, you don't even necessarily have to have an uninstall script if it's something that's like an MSI. Well, you don't necessarily want to do an MSI, so you're going to call something. You can even put the uninstall command in just the uninstall script, depending on the application. So let's say I go to my package. So say I'm making my my Intune package. I'm going to my input folder. It's just going to be this. So I could make something like as simple as PowerShell. Go here, go make my package like this. Intune, we're going to call it going to say it's our input folder. Our setup file is just going to be the uninstall 2024. Oh, I can type today. And our output folder. Let's see. So there you go. We have the smallest package alive, and we're gonna go in and create something here, and we're gonna go. This is for pretend whatever. We're gonna upload this. I'm going to select a Win32. Gonna make a package. Now I actually have this app live in production, so I'm not going to deploy this, but I'm just going to show you what you could do. So here's our uninstall, right? So you could name this the name of the thing, or I'm going to call it uninstall, but you name it whatever you want, right? Say this is going to uninstall it. We're going to go to our a publisher, Trimble, because you have to have a publisher, right? And then for our install, we'll just say nothing. For uninstall, we're basically going to call the uninstall script. You can call your PowerShell script. So we're going to do this, and we're going to call the script. So we called this what? Or wasn't even the PowerShell. It was our command line. So we're going to call this file so I can just say that the command is my my file, so it'll launch that. I can call that file. I can do kind of any commands on that I want to. The other thing you could do is just do an actual PowerShell script, so you can call it in PowerShell. You can do one or two ways, so it's really up to you. If you happen to have the MSI, you could use the MSI, but that's completely up to you. Just kind of call it. So say we're calling this, it's going to run the script. We're going to run it as we're going to allow uninstalls, run it as a system. We're going to say next, requirements, Windows, whatever. Here's the key though. You're going to use the detection rule to target where it exists now. And why is this important? It's important because basically what you have to do in your first run. So say like, I was doing SketchUp, I'm going to go to the my program files. I'm going to find SketchUp 24, and I'm going to use the exe, right? So I'm going to say if the exe is here, I'm going to put the path in. So we're going to go C program files here, and then it's just exe. Yep. And we're going to say OK. And we're just going to say it has to exist, right? The file exists. So this way also, regardless of the version, it's going to detect if SketchUp's on the machine. No dependencies, no supersedence. And then you can assign it to all devices. And why do you do that? Is because then it's going to go out and detect on every device that it's there. Once you know that it's there, you can then come in and remove the required from all devices and set all devices to uninstall. And once you do that, after the detection, it's going to go through and run that uninstall script. So what you've set here for your uninstall command, whether you do it this way, a PowerShell, if you do like just put in, you can even just put in the command. So like you could take your registry key and just put this in as your command, and that'll do it. So you don't even need like to make the package, but you can, so you have it. And it's that simple. So you could do this for any app as long as you know that the versions are the same, that the uninstall scripts are the same. You just got to figure out how to target it and initially set it to required for install for all devices, so that your computer and Intune all get scanned, and so Intune knows who has the app, And then once it knows who has the app and those are all set, then you come back and remove it from required and do your uninstall. That's kind of it, and that's the way to remove kind of any application from a computer, even if it's not installed initially with Intune.